Well, good morning, viewers. Happy Easter. If you are into Easter and all that sort of stuff, it's Jonno from Out and About with Jonno and Jez. So this morning I thought I would do something a little bit different. Jez is in the gardens here at Fig Tree Farm getting everything organised for the winter crops. So I thought we'd catch up and have a bit of a chat about what she's been up to, what she's planted, and what she expects the outcomes will be. So she's just over there. We'll go and catch up with her. So you might see down in here too, guys, that we've got a rat trap or two. So we've been getting rats that come across from the creek across the road, and this is the time of the year when it's cooler that they start organising their nests for hibernation. So anything that they think they can get away with and steal, they do. So not the greatest things, but anyway, let's go and catch up with Jez. Here she is. So what are you up to today, Jez?
Just mulching the new gardens, just so that they hold the moisture and puts a bit more nutrients into the ground.
And what have you got in this garden?
Peas across the back, mostly sugar snaps, maybe some snow peas, and then some cabbages, and then some broccolis up that end, because that's what we like the most. I've got some broccoli here, got some garlic in here, and then in the middle I put a whole bunch of seeds, so things that you like, so swedes and turnips and some carrots.
All the good stuff for soups.
And what else am I missing? Parsnips.
Parsnips. And that's all in here.
So they're in there. Some broad beans for the back.
Yeah, broad beans are good, aren't they, for
Broad beans are what I call a sacrificial plant. We eat them and they're good for you, but they're really good for the ground. They put a lot of nutrients back in because they're in the bean family. But they also attract the aphids, and so they eat the broad beans and leave the rest of my garden alone, which is pretty bad, but sacrificial plant is a sacrificial plant.
Yeah, so we have, viewers, in the past used the young broad beans and made broad bean fritters, which are really quite nice, especially with some fish. So as Jez said, what she's doing here is keeping the moisture in by mulching. Also helps with the snails and bugs and stuff like that. So over here I noticed, Jez, you've got a garden that's sort of under repair. What's going to go in this one?
Alright, so that had a lot of strawberries in it, which we never really got to eat much. The snails got a much better share than we did. So I'm pulling out all those little baby finger limes because I don't think that they fruit off. I don't think they fruit off the seed. I think they only fruit off a grafted plant. And then I'm going to fill that full of asparagus because that's what we really love. Yeah,
we do. Nothing like. Actually, we're really pretty fortunate here at Fig Tree Farm, viewers. We pick the fresh asparagus and then wander down to the chook pen and get chooks so eggs that have just been laid by the chooks. There's nothing better than fresh asparagus with a nice poached egg. So it's really, really good. And how often will you do this mulch? Will this be the one time for the season, or will you continually top it up?
No, I top most things up as we go because it breaks down and it adds more stuff. And I only use this one if I can.
This is the pea straw,
because
it does actually throw peas, doesn't it?
It does throw peas, but because it's such a high nitrogen plant, it's just so much better for the soil, and it provides that additional food. And yes, you're right, it does throw baby. It does throw peas, and they're edible peas. Yeah. Because it's from a crop. So
just like to point out to your viewers, as you can see the peas here, it's very rarely a pea makes it inside in this house, at Fig Tree Farm. We tend to come out and pick them when we see them and walk around the garden eating them straight off the vine. I don't think there's nothing better. They're nice, they're sweet. So we've got broccoli over here.
Yes, so that side is mostly broccoli, baby broccolis, and I think. Yeah, mostly broccoli. Some big ones, but a lot of small ones because we actually like broccolini. And the little seedlings down the front, which hard to see now.
They're hard to see, but that's...
There's actually broccoletti, which is not a commercial crop because it's too soft.
Yep.
But it's like broccoli, and the chooks absolutely love it. They love the plants, they love the flowers, and they love the seed pods.
Okay.
And they're all seeds from last year
in
there. So once you plant it once,
so
usually have acquired seeds again.
Just to give the viewers a bit of a perspective.
Yeah.
Looking at these seedlings here.
Yep.
When do you expect to be harvesting these?
Oh gosh, not for a while.
12 weeks?
12 weeks.
Yeah?
Yeah. The broccoletti will be right in 6 weeks. The peas will be right in 6 weeks.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing too is, viewers, if we'd have planted these, say, 4 weeks ago, they would have blown because of the heat.
Yeah.
So it's no good. So it's a timing thing. So whilst it would be, there's that guy again. Whilst it would be nice to be having vegetables to pick now, it's just not going to happen.
Not when it's so warm.
No.
If it was a colder
Yep.
year,
And
we've had years where we put stuff in much earlier because of the temperatures, but it's going to be 28 degrees today, which is the other reason why I'm mulching.
yeah, and to be fair, we'll probably get to 30, 32 like we did yesterday before we have 8 days of solid rain, which again isn't really great for the garden, is it?
No, it leaches all the goodness out, which is one of the reasons why the mulch is going down.
So will you put fertiliser out before the rains come, or is that already in with the soil now because they're fresh beds?
And the babies don't like too much. The seedlings don't want too much hit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm doing now, because the soil is still damp, I put the mulch on and then I actually water the mulch down. So it sort of sets like not like cement, but it sort of sets so it won't blow away.
Yeah.
And that gives you extra protection then as well.
Yeah.
Because it goes hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, that's not really a farm, is it? But you call it Fig Tree Farm. That's because we live in Fig Tree, and realistically, a small piece of land like what we've got, you can actually turn into a productive little market garden. Not that we sell to people, we tend to give stuff away. We've had a bumper year with tomatoes, and look, we've got all these pumpkins and sweet potatoes and stuff that we're doing. So you can actually have a small farm. And some 5 years ago, we did have a small holding up in the mountains, and we decided to sell it. And I said to Sherelle, because I know she was disappointed because we had beautiful gardens up there that she had up there as well. And I said to her, how much do you like your flowers? She said, they're just flowers. So we decided to pull all the flower beds out. Over the back there behind Jez now is where we had roses and bulbs and tulips and daffodils. So we pulled them out and put these gardens in. And as you can see, some of the stuff is still prolific. We've still got so many chilies there. The herb garden is going gangbusters. The basil did really good. It's been pretty good. And the rhubarb and stuff, this is an old garden that we've got to rehabilitate as well. But this will take us a couple of months to do this. We're going to build up the better blocks, put some cardboard down to kill the weeds, and then redo it. Look at this, guys. See, the little buggers get everywhere, don't they? Bloody snails on the ground and stepped upon. We'll go for a wander around the garden. Oh, just to let you know, see this raggedy plant here? Well, that's silver beet, and it wasn't raggedy the other day. And believe it or not, I'm going to show you up the street. Half a dozen deer were in the garden. They come across from the reserve over there, and they just, if we let them get access, this is what they do. Absolutely destroy the garden, which is why we have all this netting out the front to keep them out. And I just happened to have parked my car too far this way, so they managed to come in through a small hole there, over there, and from behind my car. Have a look at the rest of the garden. So this is some ginger that we've got going here. As I said, it's been a bumper basil year. We still, believe it or not, have some tomato plants that are throwing tomatoes. Yeah, some more silver beet. More of the chilies, some capsicums. Pumpkins are still running. You look up there, there's a baby pumpkin just up the top there. Beautiful. More brassicas. So she's got the cabbages in here. She's got some red cabbages and some Savoy cabbages, some cauliflowers. We've got more beetroot there. So that can probably come out and be processed. Got some rhubarb over the back. We're just waiting for last year's asparagus to die off so that we can cut it back and start getting ready for this year's crop. There's some rocket starting to come through. We like rocket, bees like rocket. It's one of the most important things, guys, is make sure that you have flowers in your garden to attract the bees, because without the bees, we don't get the vegetables. Anyway, let's just go have a final catch up with Jez while she's mulching the gardens. So she'll work her way around all these gardens today and have them all fully mulched. On the plan is, obviously, as she said, this garden over here. We'll rehabilitate that one and this one. What are you going to put in this garden over here, Jez, once I've pulled it all out and redone it?
I don't know. We'll see what we have and what we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we just leave them with nothing much in it, so we get beds ready for spring sometimes. But often we just put in quick growing stuff like radish and the broccoli, because the chookies love the greens.
Yep.
And often I use them as a old seed bed. So when I've got old seeds, they're only sort of active for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I might just tip a whole packet of old seeds in there and see what comes up. And sometimes heaps of stuff comes up. And then we just give it to the chookies.
Yeah, it's important to make sure the chickens get their greens as well. But what I have noticed, we don't have celery this year. Are we going to put some in?
I did put some in one of the sprinkle beds. So sprinkle bed is where I just chuck a whole bunch of stuff into seeds and then I just sprinkle over the garden, which is over there where the tomato is.
Mm-hmm.
I did put celery in there.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it come up yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet. Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave this one here. Let Jez go about her business. Thanks for watching. We're about to hit 500,000 views this weekend, which is pretty remarkable, and that's all because of you guys. So a big thank you for watching our videos and subscribing to us. So if you do like what we do, please subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, ask a question, and please share it to your social pages like Facebook. That really helps our channel grow, guys. So enjoy the rest of your long weekend, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.